Not quite as serious as the events in Northern Ireland. And you all have to take a big leap back now, unless we've got any small children around, to the age of about 5 or something, because this is really intended for small children and adults who happen to be interested in what goes on in the mind of border collies. So this is not me. This starts with a very small border collie puppy, and this is his autobiography. The book started originally as a series of postcards, because all the creatures in it are actually real, and it all really happened. And it started many years before I wrote the book with my friends giving me a puppy, and the puppy used to write postcards home to his mother on the farm, and they kept saying, well, you ought to write a book, and I know I have to earn my living, I've got other things to do, so I didn't write a book. And by the time I decided to write the book, they'd lost all the postcards, so I rewrite it all. But that was the sort of beginning of it. And so the various animals and things that are in it, they're all for real. Some of the photographs are a little bit faked by me to get the right animals in the right place at the right time, but otherwise it's all real. So we'll start at the beginning and cough when I ought to stop. Okay, well, because it doesn't actually have chapters, it has episodes, right, because it's a diary. And the original book, when I first did it, I printed it all myself, but usually I print my books and staple them in the middle because they're normally poetry, so they're not that long. And this grew, so it was like 4 sections. So I had to find out how you bound books which had sections and then start sewing it up and gluing it, putting cover on. And I only really sell them around home, but they kept selling because I had to keep making more. And I got a bit fed up with bookbinding, so I decided to get it printed properly. It's too expensive to do in colour, so turned it all into black and white. And then resorted to David, because to send it to printers you have to have it in the right format, which was beyond my capabilities. I'm still going to learn one day how to do a PDF file. And I thought, well, when I did it, I started a new page for a new entry, because he's only a dog, he doesn't know about Mondays and Fridays and yesterdays. And when they did the proof, I suddenly realised that I'd put all these little dogs in to show the beginning of an entry. And they multiplied, they were all over the place. So poor David got an email with, please remove Mini Dog from page so-and-so, page so-and-so, remove Mini Dog, page so-and-so, remove Mini Dog, page so-and-so, add Mini Dog, page so-and-so, remove Mini Dog, all the way through the book. So now the Mini Dogs indicate where the entry starts. Right. I was born on the 8th of August, along with 3 sisters and a brother. I don't remember it, but my mother told me. She is called Megan, and she's black and white and has beautiful blue eyes. She works for the boss, helping with the sheep. She says sheep are very important. I'm not allowed to go near them yet, but sometimes I see them from the yard and smell them. It makes me feel all funny and excited. My sister Nellie, who's about 3 years older than me, also works on the farm. She is really clever and funny. Sometimes she's naughty, but if the bosses are cross, she just grins at them and they can't stay cross with her. New entry. Today I am 6 weeks old. I think that's pretty grown up, but Nellie says that's rubbish. This morning, when all us pups were playing in the yard, I dug up a plant. Mrs. Boss had a word with me about it, and I rolled on my back and smiled. She has decided I'm a comedian. I reckon smiling can be a handy trick, but I don't think I'll dig up any more plants, as I really want to be a good dog. My mum says that's especially important for a sheepdog, and that I must learn to understand people when they speak. I think I might be quite good at it. I already understand dinner, no, and good dog. I'm a border collie, and I have a question mark on one side where the paintbrush must have slipped. I have beautiful gold and black eyes. Today Nellie went walkabout. Mrs. Boss was calling her for ages, because dogs aren't supposed to wander about on their own off the farm. Somebody might think she was going to chase their sheep, and that would be very serious. In the end she came back all muddy, and they put her in the barn. She said it was worth it, as she had a really interesting trip. And anyway, Anyway, she wouldn't do anything wrong, so why shouldn't she go for a walk if there's nothing to do? Mum says she hopes I don't pick up any such ideas. Another day. I've got a new home and a new boss. A lady, and she isn't a farmer, so I don't know what will happen about my career. She came to the farm in an old van and took me away. It was interesting driving in the van. I'd never been for a drive before. I sat on the new boss's lap and tried to see where we were going, but I'm too small to see out. There were 2 other dogs in the back of the van, and they kept sniffing me and muttering that dogs were not supposed to ride in the front. But the boss said it was just because I was young and might be frightened. Can't think why. After the drive, we got out at an old stone house with ducks walking about in front of it. I tried to play with one of them, but it squawked and flapped its wings and flew into the pond. And the boss picked me up and said, "No," very sternly. So I suppose being a good dog will involve not playing with ducks. The other dogs are called Bessie Dog and Frosty Dog, and I am now called Tavy Dog. Frosty is officially in charge of the ducks. She was quite shocked when I tried to play with them and says I must not interfere with her work. Every evening before it gets dark, she helps the boss put the ducks into a house where the foxes can't eat them. Bess would like to help, but Frosty says she doesn't understand how, and I think the boss thinks that too, as she usually shuts Bess in the kitchen while the ducks are going to bed. Bess is living here learning some good behaviour, and then the boss will try to find her a nice home. Bess used to live on a farm, but she got the sack. She says she always tried to help the farmer, but he didn't appreciate her. It's a shame, really, because she's really a very kind and helpful sort of dog. I like her. The house is very comfortable. Bess and I have a nice comfy beanbag each, and Frosty has a basket. It's better than living in the barn. Of course, Mum and Nellie live in the house at Cwmhwylfod, but we puppies used to be in the barn. I made a bit of a mistake here and piddled on the carpet. Well, it looked and felt quite like grass. Anyway, the boss told me no and put me outside for some time. I think in future I'd better do it outside. We have a dog flap in the front door, so I can go out without even asking. Today I was introduced to the resident cats. Of course I know about cats, as there were some at the farm, so I didn't chase them, and I expect the boss thought that was good, as I have heard some shocking stories about dogs and cats. Paddy Puss is very small and sort of orange, black and white. She's very friendly and greeted me when I arrived. Charlie is her father, and he's an elderly gentleman, black with white gloves and long white boots and a white chin and curly whiskers. He's very dignified. Paddy Puss used to be a farm cat. She got lots of milk because it was a dairy farm, but she always wanted to be a house cat. So the farmers gave her to the boss. They said that Charlie was the father of everything on the farm, but I don't think I believe it. Surely not the cows. Anyway, he's Paddy's dad, and they're really good friends. So the humans all decided that it was time for him to retire. He could come and live with her. They spend a lot of time curled up in a heap together sleeping. First they jump on a chair, then they have a play fight, then they give each other a good wash and go to sleep. Today we went back to Cwmhwylfod to see Mum. She told me to keep still and let her have a look at me, so I rolled on my back, and Mum and all my sisters and brothers gave me a good sniffing. It was very strange, as they were all much bigger than I remembered, but Mum said I'd grown a lot too. I suppose I have, but I didn't notice. I told her I was being a good dog, like she always taught me. She said I should have a good look at the boss's sheep, so I'll know later on if the wrong sheep get in. She said it was my job to know the difference. So when we got home, I went and inspected them carefully. They were quite respectful. The black one is called Bar, and the others are Minnie Mouse and No Good Boyo. Today the boss didn't milk Daisy May. I was really disappointed, as I like to watch. Daisy said she isn't going to be milked for some time because she's going to have a baby. She says you have to conserve your energy. That must be goat speak. I didn't really understand that. So I sent Mum another postcard. Mum knows most things. This morning I got a card from Mum. It said, "Dear Tavy Puppy, it's a bit like when ducks moult. They can't manage eggs and feathers at the same time. As to milk and babies, one needs a rest in between. I should know. Love, Mum." I think I'll stop there for a bit.